Hello and welcome back to FE7 Eliwood Hard Mode 0% Growths. We are on the final chapter, and we're not allowed to check the map, so I'm just going to start it now and then talk about it rather than trying to give an overview without being able to see the map. So the way that this chapter works is it's sort of like a route map in that there are enemies in each of these 6 rooms around the sides, and you have to kill all of them before this door opens and you can reach Nurgle, and at that point it basically becomes defeat boss. The rooms open one by one across turns, so like this one opens on turn 2, or no, sorry, this one opens on turn 2, and then 3, 4, 5 over here, and 6. But we definitely do not want to wait that long, so we'll be opening them as we go. In terms of who I'd bringing, these 5 are all force deployed, and then we're also bringing Jafar, Priscilla, Marcus, Heath, Pent, Harkin, and Vida. Heath and Marcus are pretty much just here for rescue dropping. They're not going to do any fighting. Obviously, neither is Priscilla. And then, of course, we have Athos, who's a new character. Athos is super, super duper powerful. Kind of trivializes this chapter, especially if you take it a little bit slower than I am actually going to be doing. Has a ridiculous magic stat, good speed, great speed, really. Capped defense. His resistance is capped because I gave him a talisman, but still very high resistance, good HP. I gave him the body rings that he can double some enemies that he would have been too slowed down by tomes to do before that. But yeah, he's really strong and is perfectly capable of soloing this final chapter. He's also got capped weapon ranks and all of the magical stuff, but we're actually only going to be using the Lunatome because, for the most part, enemy resistances are higher than the might of any of the tomes that he might use instead, so we might as well just get full use out of his 30 magic. Okay, so first thing we want to do... Oh, actually, I should mention Jafar also got a Dragon Shield. And the relevance of that I'll show off right here. So he's going to come in here and take out this morph. But Brendan Reed here, you can see, knocks him down to 1 HP. He would kill him in 1 hit if not for the Dragon Shield. So that's why you get the Dragon Shield. Okay. And now we're gonna rescue Nils so that Brendan Reed doesn't kill him, and get him off. And then we're gonna have Athos make his way up here. So this room opens on at the end of this turn, so we'll be able to get those enemies taken care of next turn, which is why that's the one room I'm not going to manually unlock. And then we're going to sleep Uhai here, who is one of the scariest enemies on the map. He's got 25 speed, he's got 42 attack, very good hit rate. Nobody can use weapon triangle against him, so we're just going to deal with him that way. Not to mention the fact that he's all the way down here means we don't really want to be having a bunch of units like stuck in that little box trying to deal with him. Meanwhile, we're actually going to open another door over here. It's where Darren and another general are hanging out. We'll lure them out. And we're going to rescue Priscilla in anticipation of opening the door down here next turn. Meanwhile, Harkin is going to come over and take out one of these snipers. And Vida is going to try to take out the other one. She may double, she may not. She does, okay. So very likely to get the kill here. That's good. And then it's going to be basically Vida's job to just chip Uhai down with the Brave Lance. Okay, and oh, I forgot again. Luckily it doesn't actually matter if I do it before or after Athos moves, but we want to barrier Athos. because there's Kenneth in here has a weapon that can potentially crit Athos for a bunch of damage, and it's also actually relevant for when we fight Nurgle in a few turns, even though it's mostly worn off by that point. Alright, so we're gonna drop off Priscilla, and then Heath is gonna come up here and prepare to help out with rescue drop stuff with Athos. Far did not get hit, that's nice, although he has an elixir, so it kind of doesn't matter. So Jafar's going to come down here, now he's going to equip a Killing Edge because he's more likely to deal a lot of damage to Brendan Reed with that than with the Brave Sword, where he does a little bit more, or he does the same damage per hit. Well, the point is he doesn't quad with the Brave Sword because it's heavy. Alright, so we're going to have Vida start working on Uhai. She cannot miss with any of those 60 whatever hit rates, that would be fantastic. Okay, so then Athos is going to come over here and take out this guy who has a Siege Dome. So we need to take him out on player phase, and then he can enemy phase the other two guys. And then I'm going to have Ents come down here. And heal Harkin, who's going to come over here and attack this guy with a tomahawk. And we're gonna play for Pence. Gonna trade Hawkeye a Killer Axe. He doesn't do a lot of damage with it if he doesn't crit, but he's very likely to crit. Most of these enemies have, like, no luck. Take a swing at Darren. Okay, and then we're gonna open this door, revealing Ursula and Jeremy. Jeremy, of course, we didn't face because we faced Kenneth. But that's gonna let them come out of this room, which is gonna make it actually easier to kill them. But we do need to now get Priscilla out of here, lest she get killed. So, Marcus, come rescue her. Plus, we want her up here to open this door next turn anyway. 3, 4, 5, 6, you open it. So we'll be in position to do that. We can actually just use Hector for that, or maybe even... oh, not Lynn. In the meantime, we're going to want to... so what's probably going to happen is Brendan is going to come out here and attack Jafar and probably not die, which means Athos is going to come down and kill him, and then going to need to come down and kill... or, like, not kill, but attack Jeremy. He's not going to kill him because he's not going to one-round him, but... that means that we're going to want some people ready to bring Athos upwards, although that may mean Pent doing some warping. Let's see. So, here... let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4... oops. But yeah, so Pent will be in range to warp Athos from where he's standing, so we don't need to move Pent. So I think... let's see... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Mills is easily in range of that. Now, if Brendan does die, I guess we'll still want to bring Athos down, most likely. So, I guess that's all good enough. Trying to see if we need to do anything with Eliwood and Heath here. I don't think we actually do. As it turns out, things are going pretty well so far. So what we're gonna do is bring Eliwood down here so that he's in range to do stuff if we need it over there. And bring Heath closer to here in case that's useful. May not be. Okay, he did not crit, so that's annoying. And Jafar got hit, which is also annoying. One thing I didn't mention is that the enemies drop a lot of legendary weapons in this chapter, and it just like doesn't matter at all, which is kind of stupid. You would like want it to matter, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Because you just don't get time to like use them for anything relevant. Alright, we're gonna drop the sleep staff, I guess, because we're not gonna use that again. I'm not gonna use any of those other things either, but you know, whatever. Ursula, or not Ursula, I think, yeah, Jeremy can actually reach Vida, which we don't want, so Vida's gonna circle around and attack Buhai from over here. Okay, that's going well enough. So we are gonna need to heal Jafar, unfortunately, before he can take out Ursula, which he can do exactly. And then once we do that, we can rescue him away. We're also going to want to play for Athos. We'll do that now. So how much... Okay, so Jafar needs to be healed for 30. Pretty sure Pent can do that. Let's go ahead and finish this guy off. And then Pent. Oh, wait, we're gonna have a problem here. And the problem is that we want to warp Athos back up this way. Oh no, wait. No, wait. What turn is it? Turn 3. Yeah, we could open the door here on turn 3, but we can't. We can't actually get Athos in a position if we have to have him attack Jeremy. So you know what? Never mind. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. So let's trade the Killer Axe again. Kill Jafar. Oh, wait, what? Ah, hell. Alright, well, I guess we have Priscilla available to heal him as well. Okay, all of that didn't matter. Didn't matter. Everyone needs lockpick. Not that we really need the Excalibur either. Now, the thing about Jeremy is that his rune sword heals him, so we really don't want to be taking damage against him if we can avoid it. Meanwhile, we want to, for sure, rescue Jafar. We also want to rescue Drop Mills. Rescue Jafar with Eliwood. We don't really need to drop him. It doesn't really matter. We can... Drop him. Might as well drop Jafar. And then we'll bring Heath down in case we want to rescue Athos, which we shouldn't need to do, but... There we go. Okay, so now Hopefully we can finish off Uhai here. No! Oh man, come on. Well, it's not like we were gonna get... We'll just send Harkin around. He can try to help next turn. It's not like we were gonna get the door open this turn anyway to Nurgle. Alright, so then we're actually... I was talking about warping. We're actually gonna rescue. Nope, not that rescue. Alright, and now we get to see the brothers Reed. Athos is going to try to take out Lloyd from position of safety. And got him in 1. We don't really get into this stuff, but let's see here. So I think, let's see, it's 437 to 17. Yeah, Athos actually survives a hit here, so I might actually dance for... Well, it really doesn't matter. So if I were to kill Uhai this turn and Linus on enemy phase versus killing Uhai at the beginning of player phase, it doesn't really matter. So I should probably actually just heal Athos. So we'll do that. I also, of course, need to rescue Priscilla. And we're going to want to move Mills forward as well. As far as possible, basically. I guess we'll use Heat to rescue Priscilla. Do Marcus. Rescue Mills. Glenn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. Alright, I don't think we really need to bother to do anything with these two. But we'll keep Jafar around here in case we want to use him to finish off Linus if Athos doesn't do it. And he didn't. Oh, right. Let me check this thing. 9 weight, 20 might. 8 con, what's your speed? 19 speed. I think... No, he still doubles. Okay. So he does 11 more damage per swing than he does with the Killing Edge. Just to say enough, so if we... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Yeah. We're actually going to use one of these weapons. Amazing. Here. Take out Uhai. That will open the door to Nurgle. Alrighty. Athos is not in range to attack him, but... Well, actually, so... Athos does 40 damage with... Full his might. Just gonna use that. What are we on? Turn 5, yep, as expected. I do believe it's probably possible to beat this map in 4 turns if you get enough crits, but I'm not positive about that. So yeah, there you go, our light part 1 in 5 turns, and now... Oh no, dragons! Now, I said before, or I said last time that I planned to do this in 2 parts because I was thinking this is going to be like Sacred Stones, where the last part of the endgame is actually hard. Turns out, it's not. So, what we're going to do is have Athos attack Dragon twice. Well, double him, thanks to the body ring. So this is where the body ring really makes its impact felt, because Athos doesn't double the dragon without the body ring. It's possible that, I guess that barrier giving him a... No, wait, no, it doesn't do anything. Never mind. What am I talking about? Okay, so then we're gonna rescue him because Nils is all the way back here. Take him, drop him. Play for him. Heal him. And before I finish this out, I would just like to point out, there are other enemies on this map. I don't know why. Especially because the dragon doesn't move. So, you can, like, just move everybody forward, and those other enemies just can't do anything to you. That also doesn't matter, because you can beat the map in 1 turn with base level Athos if you just give him a body ring or a speed ring. There you have it. 6 turns for the final chapter. And that is the conclusion of my FE7 Eliwood Hard Mode 0% growths Let's Play. Let me get a bunch of cutscenes that I'm going to skip through so that I can get to the chapter roll. Because there's something I wanted to mention about that. Eventually. Okay, here we go. So I'm actually gonna see if I can pause. Yeah, I can pause the emulation. If you go back and compare these chapter totals or turn counts to the ones that I have listed in my videos, there you will notice a discrepancy. I don't remember whether this was the case with FE8 or not. I want to say maybe it was, and I never figured it out, or something like that. But I did. At the very least, I figured it out this time, which is that there's 2 things. So first of all, defense maps apparently add an extra turn in all cases for some reason. I don't know why. Like 13X is a defense map. You defend Merlinus for 7 turns. That's the objective, and it shows as 8 turns. I don't know why. So that adds 4 turns to the turn count that would not otherwise be there. So that's one of them. Let's see, what are the other ones? Unfulfilled Heart is an 11-turn defense. Battle for Forward Dawn is a 15-turn defense. And then we have Sands of Time, which is an 11-turn defense. So that adds 4 turns to the turn total. And then Battle Preparations is, I didn't show on screen, so I didn't include the turns for that. It's not, there's no combat or anything. I didn't think it mattered, but it's funny because this does the same thing. You get 5 turns to gather supplies, and then it reports as 6 turns. I don't know why. But in any case, as a consequence of those 4 plus the 6 from Battle Preparations, this shows me as having 10 more turns with 187 than what I actually had, which is, according to my own count, which is 177. So that's the reason for that. Anyway, so now I'll let this roll for a little bit as I talk about my thoughts on the playthrough and my plans for the future. So, I mean, I had a lot of fun with this. I do really enjoy these 0% growth playthroughs. I think overall this one was not as good as FE8, probably. FE8 is more challenging, I think. And the challenge is from like less sort of gimmicky feeling stuff. That's one big reason. And the other big reason is because you actually get to leverage like some of the cool tools like the warp staff and the rescue staff like a lot, rather than just like 1 or 2 chapters. Like even in the final chapter there, like I was working on some stuff that involved, warping people around more, and it just like didn't end up even like really mattering too much. I couldn't figure out a way to beat it in less than 5 turns anyway. So yeah, I mean, I think it's like fun to use those tools, and I wish there was more of an opportunity. It's not that you literally don't get the warp staff until too late, although I'm pretty sure you get it significantly later than in FE8. But the big difference is that even once you get it, you play a couple of chapters where it's just not relevant at all. And then of course the reason it's easier otherwise, or in general, is because you just have much stronger units. In FE8, you're relying on Garrick and Saleh for the most part, who are weaker versions of Harkin and Pent, and that doesn't even account for getting units like Athos or Vita or whoever. So yeah, I mean, I think the game is overall easier. Like there's more like gimmicky stuff like the Water Temple map, and I mean, admittedly, like some of the gimmicks are really cool. The Water Temple map is definitely interesting. I really enjoyed the final chapter, or the Nurgle part of it. Like, I mean, the dragon part of it is obviously trivial, but just figuring out like how to deal with those rooms, I think is actually pretty fun. Figuring out like how quickly you can open them up, who can encounter these, or safely like engage these really strong enemies. I think that was a pretty cool chapter. But yeah, I just wish there were a few more maps where you got to like really leverage the warp and rescue staves and like have the enemies feel more threatening to units other than just like the super squishy ones. Because like you pretty much go the whole game without like units like Hawkeye or Harkin like really able to die for the most part. And like that's definitely not the case in FE8. Even this like your strongest units are only able to take on like so many enemies at once. You just have to be like very careful about how many enemies you're engaging, whereas here it's kind of like, whatever, I'll just let them kill like 10 enemies on enemy phase, it's fine. Also, that final chapter in FE8 is crazy, with like all of the like super strong monsters and like the Gorgons with the stone stuff and all that mess, and then like the Demon King, like summoning enemies like every turn and all that. It's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think they're both fun. They're both worth playing. I actually think one thing I will say is that if you are interested in playing 0% growths yourself, I would recommend playing this one before FE8. I played FE8 first because it's considered the easiest game, and I was like, oh, well, obviously that means it'll be the easiest on 0% growths. And I don't think that's accurate. I think this one is easier. I mean, maybe that's less true on Hector Hard Mode, but I suspect it's probably not super different. Just because, again, of like the strength of your roster. Like in FE8, you get more growth units and you get fewer late game pre-promotes. I mean, Athos is like a, you know, really standout example, but just in general, the units I've already mentioned, like Harkin and Hawkeye and Vita and Pent, really aren't just not. They don't have any equal in FE8. So I would actually recommend this as like a great starting point for 0% growths to anybody who's interested in doing it. What else is there to say? I am going to be moving on to FE9 0% growths, followed by FE10. So that should be going up like basically on the same cadence as this was already going up. So starting like in 4 days from whenever this releases. I think this is going to go up sometime in late June or something? I don't know. Maybe early July. I forget what exactly this will be going up. But yeah, I'll be doing FE9. And I'm really looking forward to that because I really love Tellius. And that one I expect is going to be harder than either of the GBA games I've done, just because the combination of having to deal with well, really like Ashnard at the end of the game is going to be like crazy hard to take down, at least for his first form before you get access to Gifka. And then I think I may have mentioned this before, but I think like there's basically like the growths in each game increase. So like you have higher growths in FE8 than FE7, you have higher growths in FE9 than FE8, and so losing access to those makes a bigger and bigger difference as you progress through the games. And my expectation is that like my early game units will really struggle faster than they do in the GBA games in Path of Radiance. And you also just don't get that many good like late game pre-promotes either in that game. I mean, probably better than in FE8, but you know, you get like Har and Joffrey. You know what you don't get is like one of the late game sages. Well, you get late game sages, Bastion and Kalo, but they can't use staves, which is such a like huge drawback. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's my plan. So I imagine it'll take me, I don't know, another couple months each to get through each of those games. So it'll be a while before I do anything else, I guess. I don't actually know what I'm going to do after Radiant Dawn, though, because I don't have like a 3DS capture card or to use. I don't have like, there's not like really a good like 3DS emulation. I guess I could do, like I could go back and play like regular Shadow Dragon, which I never really played through much of. I could play one of the translated games like FE6. I don't know. I guess if anybody has any thoughts on that, let me know. But I don't think it makes sense to try to play 0% growth on a game that I've never played before. Seems like a bad idea. Oh, good timing. We're almost done here. I do wish also that I had like more of the like valuable staves in that last chapter, and I could have deployed Renault. I don't think I actually used Heath to rescue drop anyone as it laid out. And I could have definitely made use of Renault. Maybe I should have just brought him to the physics staff, but no. think it would have actually mattered. Like, it might have given me a little bit more reliability against Darren, because I could have been using Pent to attack him instead of healing Harken, something like that. But it wouldn't have changed the turn count anyway. The limiting factor is basically, like, I need Athos to take out Jeremy. I mean, I don't, strictly speaking, but it's just really unreliable to take him out with other units, because he keeps healing if he hits, and you're kind of relying on crits to do enough damage. So that is it. Thank you for watching this playthrough. If you've made it through the entire playthrough, that's amazing. I do encourage anyone to who's thinks this is interesting to try it for themselves. I don't know how difficult it looks to anybody watching, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe it looks easy. I don't know. It's not easy, but it's not like crazy difficult. I'm by no means an expert Fire Emblem player. There's a lot of people out there who do much more impressive things than anything I'm doing, but I still manage. So yeah, give it a shot. You might enjoy it. Either way, hopefully I'll see you next time for Path of Radiance 0% growths. Until then.